Hello everybody, welcome back, youtube.com/Geek Aloud for another Let's Install. This time, it's the physical edition of Star Wars Jedi Survivor going into and onto an Xbox Series X. We'll go ahead and put the disc in right now, shall we? Whoa. Now, somewhere along the dashboard, we should see the Star Wars Jedi Survivor icon appear, and then the install should magically start happening. There it is, far right. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, there it is there, installing. Let's go ahead and pull up the queue, shall we, so we can get the full details. What have we got here? Okay, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I'm assuming this top line item is the physical install, whatever data is available on the disc being installed there. And then this should be the most recent patch. That's not a good error, obviously. Let's try it again, shall we? Let's boot Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Installing. As I said, this should be, in theory, coming off the disk, and then it should ping the servers and pull the most recent patch data there. But why oh why wouldn't it be installing? If we see the error again, I might jump in and manually manage the install location. Maybe that is the issue. All right, let's jump on into the settings. We will go to wherever storage is found. System, probably. Storage devices, here we go. All right, there's plenty of room on the expansion card. So let's change the install location and we will make it the storage expansion card, optimized for Xbox Series X storage card. Okay, so in theory now it should put it in this massive 165.3 gigabyte hole. That is clearly available on the disc. Let's try it one more on the internal or expansion card. All right, let's try and kick it off again and see if that solves this little conundrum, shall we? Rocket League queued install. Maybe it was another install happening in the background that was giving us the issue. Let's go into the queue, see what it says for itself. Look at this. Okay. That's looking a bit better. Needs an update. Yeah, by all means. The update size is 131.2 gigabytes. Dare I go out on a limb and suggest that is not an update at all, and it is in fact the entire game being digitally downloaded, making the disc itself just a key. A CD key, I would assert. In theory, though, it should pull 43.98 gigabytes off the physical disc and then apply the patch. But I'm not seeing this go. No, there it is. Look at that. Just wait longer. All right, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now you can see instead of saying disc, it now says network. So I can confirm physical disc going into the Xbox, doing not a whole lot. Oh no, there we go. It's going to pull 2.96 gigabytes of usable data off the 55 odd gig available on the disc, and the 131.07 gigabyte patch, or full digital game essentially, is coming in off the network. So we'll go ahead, we'll let that install. Once it is installed, of course, we'll boot on into Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We'll dive into the settings menu, see what's available, see if there's any changes we recommend. You know, disable film grain, disable motion blur, expand out the field of view, disable subtitles, all the usual stuff. We'll check that out once it's installed, and then, of course, we'll bounce back out to the Xbox dashboard, and I'll pull up the current version number and complete install size once it's all done. But for now, let's install Star Wars Jedi Survivor right here, youtube.com/Geek Aloud. Oh, also, while I've got you, please check out a gaming enforcement agency. That's where we give you gameplay footage and our full hands-on thoughts and impressions of the game and how it played. When I say we, of course, I mean Bully and Unky Dunky's thoughts. Anyway, let's install. installed. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Rocket League's also updating. We'll just let that go. If you happen to be wondering why on this install, and hopefully in theory all moving forward, the speed has been significantly increased. Well, I need to send a big shout out to my man Trav. Thank you so much for helping me with my router issues and enabling the full bandwidth to come in and facilitate the Let's Install series. Well, that is HOT hot. Just back that off a little bit. Respawn Entertainment, fantastic work on this title. It's been fully patched now, so as I understand it, originally at launch and for a few months thereafter, I believe, there were a few performance issues on consoles. As I understand it now, though, it's all been cleaned up and fixed up in the recent patches. So, in theory, there's no better time to start Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Maybe put it on your Christmas wish list. Maybe. I think it's a great game, especially if you're into your open worlds. And Star Wars, I suppose, might be a prerequisite. All right, we'll accept that. We'll hit continue. What do we got here? Speakers. Nope. Headphones for me. Take the time, set it up for yours. Y to turn subtitles off. We don't need to test audio. Let's hit A to continue. Brightness. Now, I've got to crank mine up just a little bit to facilitate or accommodate the two whopping great studio lights in my eyes. But don't go by my settings. Take time to set it up for your environment. View distance. TV. Far. Oh, yep. All right. We'll go with far. Ambient camera sway. We'll leave that on. But if you're susceptible to motion sickness, you might want to kill the sway there. It'll help you not get motion sickness. I'm hopeful also we land on a main menu now and not an opening cutscene. Time will tell. Hold B to skip. Let's do that. Hopefully. Oh, yeah. This looks like the new main menu. All right. Let's see what the options have available for us in accessibilities. Controller scheme. I'm going to hit modify just on the off chance we get a proper map. Unfortunately, it's all listed there and we don't. We will leave disable UI input hold off. However, if your old man has a bit of a problem, maybe you want to turn that on. Visual subtitles off, thank you. HUD scale 100% is fine. Color profile settings, we'll leave that alone. Camera shake, I'm going to leave it on. As I said, motion sickness, turn it off. Field of view, no, we certainly don't want that to be default. We want widest. Man, I'd love a readout because I love a good 120-degree field of view, but I'm not quite sure what they think it is. Now, stabilizing UI dot. That is a dot right in the center of the screen. Once again, I'm not susceptible to motion sickness, so I don't use it. But if you are, you might want to turn that on. It'll just help you. Gameplay, auto switch target, enemy on death. Visible enemies only. Well, no, like always. Any enemy, thank you. Auto lock target in combat. I'm going to leave that off, but to save button presses, you might want to turn it on. Disable fall damage. Once again, I'll leave it off. You might want to come back and turn it on at some point. Button mash options, I'll leave that as default. Toggle pull to hold off. Navigation assist off. Displays an icon on the holo map and the binoculars that guides the player to the next game section on the way to the current objective. Now, I'm a bit forgetful sometimes, so I'm going to turn that on, but if you don't ever struggle to remember what it is you're meant to be doing, you can go ahead and leave it off. Navigation audio ping, I'll leave it off. Camera follow lock, 60%. Sure, I guess that'll be fine. Arachnophobia safe mode, I'll leave it off. If you're scared of spiders, though, turn it on. Human dismemberment, oh yeah, let's leave that on. Can I turn it up anymore? That'd be great. Let me have more dismemberment. Game audio, we'll leave that as is. Mono off. Slow-mo off. Almost tempted to turn it on. Auto-activated slow mode in combat off and slow it down. Shortcut controls off. All right, fair look at the accessibility menu. There we go. Controller map, a full one. I love it. There for reference, but I'm not recommending any changes. Controllers, vibration on, thanks. Leave that off. Default for the inverts. Invert Y-axis flight control on for me. Yes, thanks. That's how I've been gaming forever. Gameplay, audio language English, text language English, dialogue line skipping. Woo. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Sometimes I get a bit impatient and just want to get back into the combat. All right. Combat, auto switch target on enemy death. Yes, always. Auto lock targeting combat off. Yeah, let me trigger it when I want it on. Button mash options default. We'll leave off. Exploration disable. Fall damage. Navigation assist on. Navigation ping. Camera flow lock. Slow mode off, off, off. Other. We've gone through those already. Visuals. Performance mode. As always, give me 60 frames a second. Thank you very much. Field of view widest. Yes, thanks. Brightness, as I said, set it up for your environment. Motion blur. Kill it. You don't want it. It doesn't help. Film grain. Kill it. Don't want it. Doesn't help. Ceramic apparition. Now, I love it. It's like the lens flare. I think it looks great. If it puts you off, turn it off. But I like it. I'm leaving it on. Camera shake. I'll leave it at default. Ambient camera sway, once again, I'll leave that at default. If you're susceptible to motion sickness, take it for a long walk to the left. All right, everything else there's fine. Audio, dialogue effects, music, standard there. Extras, usage sharing on. I always recommend leaving usage sharing. There's another name they use for some time, but I'm blanking on it right now. But it just lets the developers know statistically how you're going through the game. If you're getting stuck at a certain point, that sort of data, it's very valuable if you can send that back to the developers. So in a future patch, if a lot of people are having trouble in a spot, that enables them to identify it and fix it. So I recommend turning usage sharing off. And agreements, I don't care for those. So that is it for the settings. We are back at the main menu with no indication as to a version number. So, as we always do here on the Let's Install series, let's bounce on out, pull up the particulars, and wrap up this Let's Install. I can tell you currently, Star Wars Jedi Survivor installed today from a physical disc, but it was only 2 and a bit gig. But it is currently version over there 1.0.0.12, and that is a full and complete install size of 134 gigabytes. Thank you very much for watching another Let's Install right here on Geek Aloud. Please check out a gaming enforcement agency. What else can you do with the channel? Like it, subscribe it, you'll never miss it. Oh, that was luck.
Hey, that's something. Old Uncle Donkey. Donkey.